Hi, this is Dr. Bharadwaj. Today we will going to discuss data level of measurements. What is that? Data level of measurements. What are all the things we are going to discuss under data level of measurements? First one we are going to discuss is what is scale. That is, what is measurement scale? To have the data into this scale, what are all the characters of the data? If certain data has this characters, it falls into one scale. So what are those characters? After characters, and you have the scale of the data, what kind of operations you can perform on it? Okay, what kind of mathematical operations? In mathematical operations, again, arithmetic operations and statistical operations, what are the things you can perform? And finally, number 4 we are going to discuss is what are the scales. There are 4 scales. What are all those scales? With examples we will discuss in detail. The topic is define the data level of measurement. How do you measure anything, right? For anything there will be level. In an office there will be hierarchy, or to any place you go there will be hierarchy, or there will be scale of measurement. In the same way, any data you get in this world can be organized into 4 levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. On what basis you assign a particular data into a particular scale, we will look into it. First one is, what is measurement scale? Measurement scale is classifying data to assign values. You classify the data and you give value to that data to determine whether a meaningful arithmetic means, once you classify the data, then you will decide with that data, can you add 2 data points, can you subtract, can you multiply, can you divide, so can you perform any mathematical or arithmetic calculation. And also statistical operations. Statistical means, can you calculate mean, median, mode to that particular data set. All these things determined by the scale of the data. And next one is characters. What are all the characters of a data? Based on the characters of a data, data can be classified into 4 varieties. Okay, what are all those characters? Whether can you give a label to a data or not, can you give a name to the data or not, or can you order the data? Order means from minimum to maximum or maximum to minimum, can you order it? That is the second character. Can you find the difference? Can you subtract one data from other data, or can you subtract one value from other value within the data set? That is known as difference. Can you find the difference? And can you find the ratio, right? When you divide two values within the data set, can you get a meaningful ratio? Can you say whether the first value is twice that of the second value, something like that? Can you determine the ratio? These 4 characters, whether the data can be labeled or not, whether you can give a name, can you order them, can you find the difference, or can you find the ratio, all this determines to which category the data belongs. And also whether the data has true zero value, weight, right? Weight can be 0. If nothing is there, the weight is 0. Can the data have that property, zero value property, or is true 0? All these 5 characters will determine to which level of measurement the data belong. Based on these 5 characters, the data can be classified into nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. There are 4 levels of measurement, or there are 4 scales of measurement based on these characters. What are those? Nominal scale or nominal level, ordinal scale or ordinal level, interval scale or interval level, ratio scale or ratio level. These are the 4 scales any data can be belonging. Okay, if I give a data, you can put the data into one of these 4 scales based on these characters and perform these mathematical operations. That is as simple as that. We will look deeply into it. We will now try to understand various characteristics of data. Until you know the characteristic of data, you cannot classify the data to which level or to which scale it belongs. First one is labeling. Can you label a data or not? Can you give the name to a data? For example, you give name to identify, right? Best medical example can be, if a patient walks in, you can label him whether he is a male or he is a female or he is other gender. You are just labeling, giving the label, right? that is labeling a data. If you can give a name or if you can give a label, that property is known as labeled. Okay. Next one is ordered. Can you order the data or not in a particular sequence? For example, if male, female and third gender comes, who is first, who is second, who is third? Is male is the first person or female is the first person or other is the first person? Is there any hierarchy? Here there is no hierarchy, right? From starting to end, or in the reverse order, there is no particular order. But if you can order the data, that property is known as ordered property. For example, pain scale, right? Pain scale will have 4 properties. There can be no pain. After no pain, there can be mild pain. This is the second one. Then it can be moderate or severe. Here, based on the data, this data can be ordered. If you have the patients who is saying, I have no pain, I have mild pain, I have moderate pain, I have severe pain, you can make them in order or ascending order from no pain to severe pain, or descending order from severe pain to no pain. So here you can put the data in the order. Such property of a data is known as ordered property. Okay, this is a second characteristic of a data. And what is the third character that a data can have? That is difference. You can find the difference between two values. For example, the values of the data can be subtracted from one another meaningfully. There are values, if you can subtract one value from other value, that is known as finding the difference. Intervals between the values are equal. If you want to subtract between one values, the interval between the difference between 1 and 5 should be same as 5 and 10. The interval should be same. For example, if we have a patient and the temperature of the patient in the morning is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit and evening it is 100.6 degree Fahrenheit. The temperature, you can say the temperature in the evening is raised by 2. What is the difference between 98.6 and 100.6? It is 2 degree Fahrenheit. So you can say that if the temperature of the human being is given, you can label it, okay, you can order it, and also you can find the difference. Such is the character. If the given data set has those properties, that property is known as difference. You can find the difference for the particular set of data. And the next one is ratio. You are given a particular set of data, particular amount of data. Can you calculate the ratio? If you can calculate the ratio, that data set has the property of ratio. What is that? The value of the data can be divided by one another meaningfully. For example, it requires a true zero to be valued. For example, the best example can be body weight. If there are two persons, one person is with body weight of 80 kg and one person is with body weight of 40 kg. Divide 80 by 40, it is 2. It means first person's weight is twice that of the second person. You are dividing it meaningfully. Here there is a meaning when you divide. What is the meaning? First person 80 kg divided by 40 kg, it is 2. First person's weight is twice that of the second person and it has a meaning. That's the reason we say it as ratio. If such data is given, you can say that the data has the property to calculate ratio and it requires true value. Weight can be 0, right? If there is no person, the weight is 0. So that's the reason you can have true 0 in this. You are confused with what is true 0. We will discuss deeply into it what is true 0 with examples. So what is true 0? 0 means nothing is present when you say 0. It is 0. 0 means nothing of quality is present. Without true 0, you can't make a ratio comparison, right? We have seen the ratio property of the set of data. If there is no true 0, you cannot have the ratio. You cannot say first person is twice that of the first person's weight is twice that of the second person. You cannot say that. For example, one person is dead, right? What is his pulse rate? 0. It means absent. 0 or the same person who is dead will have 0 respiratory rate. There is no respiratory rate, there is no heart rate. It means 0 means the patient is dead. This is the meaning of true 0. You will understand what is true 0 once we go for what is not true 0. Okay, then this is a very important one. Try to understand it. What it's meant by not true 0. Not true 0 means quantity is present. 0 represents just a value. Even if it is 0, there is some quantity. What is the best example for it? Human temperature, not true 0. Normal body temperature is 37 degree centigrade and freezing point of water is 0 degree centigrade. Here 0 doesn't mean there is no temperature, because there is minus temperature also. -1, -2, -3, -4 means there is temperature, but it is just the value. It is not the complete absence of temperature. There is no body in this world with 0 temperature. There will be some energy in every body, but to calculate we have started at some other place where we consider it as 0. If it is 0, okay, it should not have any temperature, but -1 is also there, means 0 is not a true 0. That is known as not true 0. One more thing is pH, right? So what is the normal pH range? It is 0 to 14 is the pH range. There are some acids where the pH is -1. There are some acids where the pH is below 0, that is -1. There are some bases where the pH is above 14. Okay, so it means it is not a true 0. When we say this set of data doesn't have true 0, it means the values below 0 also exist. But when you say in true 0, if you say 0, the value below 0 will not exist. For example, if the pulse rate it can be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, right? It cannot be -1, pulse rate cannot be -2. Weight can be 0 or 1 or 2 kgs, but weight cannot be -1, weight cannot be -2. That is true 0. Here true 0 means temperature. If the temperature is 0, but there will be minus temperature also, right? There is temperature 1 degree -1 degree centigrade, -2 degree centigrade, -3 degree centigrade. It means this is not a true 0. And also pH. pH is 0. There are some acids where the pH is -1, -2. Such acids also exist. It means this is not true 0. When there is no true 0 in the calculation, or when there is no true 0, you cannot calculate the ratio. There is no meaning if you have the ratio. For example, if the pH of the acid is 1 and there is one more acid which is pH 2, it doesn't mean it is 2 times more stronger than this acid. That ratio is not applicable when there is no true 0. But here, when the weight, one person can be 40 kgs, one person can be 80 kgs. The 80 kg person is twice that of a 40 kg person. When there is true 0, ratio is meaningful. When there is no true 0, there is no ratio. The ratio cannot be calculated. Even though if you calculate, it is not meaningful. It is very important to understand true 0 and not true 0, because it comes again and again. Next one is mathematical operations. What mathematical operations you can perform, right? You can add two values, you can subtract two values, you can multiply two values, you can divide two values. This comes under arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations and statistical operations are a part of mathematical operations. In statistics, you can calculate mean. Okay, what is mean? Add all the values, divide by number of values, that is mean. What is median? Arrange the values in ascending order and find the middle value. If there are 15 values, arrange these 15 values in ascending order, and the 8th value is considered as median. What is mode? The value which is frequently repeated. There are 15 values, out of 15 values, 2 values are repeated. It means the mode is 2. Okay, so we can do mathematical operations and statistical operations on certain type of data based on their scale. Okay, what are those scale? We will look into it. When coming to scales of measurement or levels of measurement, any data which is given to you falls into these 4 categories. What are those 4 categories? First one is nominal scale, second one is ordinal scale, third one is interval scale, and fourth one is ratio scale. These are the 4 scales any data in this world falls into. Okay, this is the ratio scale. These are the 4. Any data you take, if I give any data, you will put those data into these 4 scales are these 4 levels only. Ratio scale is the highest level and nominal scale is the lowest level. We are going from lowest level to highest level. What is nominal scale? What are all the characters? When you say nominal scale, what characters does nominal scale have? In nominal scale, the data can be grouped without any order. I have given a set of data. That data can only be grouped but cannot be arranged in an order. For example, if I give the data of 15 patients, whether the patient is male, female or other, you can just group it, right? You can say there are 5 males, there are 5 females and there are 5 other gender people. But you cannot say males come first, after males there is females, after females there is third gender. You cannot discriminate or you cannot arrange them in an order. Such type of data is measured in a scale known as nominal scale. If such data is given to you, you have to use nominal scale to perform mathematical operations on it. The second level of measurement or the second scale is ordinal scale. What is ordinal scale? In ordinal scale, you not only label the data, means you not only group the data, but also arrange the data in a particular order. Best example would be, I have given a 15 patients and the 15 patients based on their pain, they are classified as no pain, mild pain, moderate pain, severe pain. Out of 15, there are some people who are with no pain, that is the first one. There are some people with moderate pain. There are some people with mild pain, that comes second. Moderate pain comes third and severe pain comes fourth. Such type of data can be arranged in an order and certain type of mathematical operations can be performed on such kind of a data. That kind of data comes to the second measurement level, that is ordinal scale. Ordinal scale or ordinal measurement level. Next one is interval scale. Interval scale is the third scale or third level. In interval scale, the data has equal intervals but no true zero point and no meaningful ratios. Okay, I have given a data. That data can be labeled. Okay, you can give a name to the data. You can order them from high in a hierarchy from low to high or high to low. You can perform some calculations like you can minus, you can find the difference, but you cannot calculate ratio or it doesn't have true zero. Such type of data is applied for interval scale. For such type of data where it can be ordered, where it can be labeled, where the difference can be found but there is no true ratio or you cannot divide that particular data, such type of data is measured or the values of such type of data will be calculated based on the interval scale. What is the best example? Human temperature, right? For example, you have measured the temperature of a human being every 15 minutes. First temperature is 98.6, second temperature is 100.6, third temperature is 102.6, right? These are meaningful. You can say that first temperature and second temperature difference is 2 degree Fahrenheit. 98.6 minus 100.6, it is 2 degree Fahrenheit. What you are doing? You are finding the difference. Okay, you are finding the difference between these two values, but you cannot divide that. For example, you cannot divide with 100.6 with 98.6. It will not give true ratio because there is no true zero. There is, if you say temperature 0 means there are other temperatures. It is not complete absence of temperature. There are other temperatures, -1, -2, -3. That's the reason in interval scale there is no true zero or no meaningful ratios. When such type of data is given to you, it comes under interval scale. It is measured in interval scale. And the final scale is ratio scale. What is ratio scale? In ratio scale, you can give a value or you can give a name to it or you can label it. You can arrange in a sequence from high to low or low to high. You can find the difference. You can minus one data point from other data point, and also you can have meaningful ratios here. Okay, the best example would be weight of a person measured every month. In a year, you are measuring the weight of a person. In Jan, his weight is 57 kg, in Feb 60 kg, and in March again 58 kg. In this, you can perform the ratio as well. You can say if the person is 80 kgs in Jan and 40 kgs in December, okay, you can say this person's weight is double that of the same person in Jan and December. Okay, such type of meaningful ratios can be applied here because there is true zero. If I say the weight is 0, there is nothing. There is nothing as -1 weight or -2 weight. That's the reason here we have true zeros. When the data has these three characters, when the data can be labeled, when the data can be ordered, when the data, the difference can be found, and the data, the ratio can be found, such type of data is measured in ratio scale.